Okay, welcome to this preview video for book 22 of Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey. Maybe before reading and listening to book 22, you can just sort of take notes on this video. It's really just a few questions for consideration as you listen and read book 22. First, Emily Wilson titles the chapter Bloodshed. And I would encourage any reader or group of readers to do the following. Based on the prophecies made regarding Odysseus's return home and treatment of the suitors, based on what you've read, based on what you think is going to happen, based on the characters back in Ithaca, what you know of the suitors, Telemachus, the loyal servants like Eumaeus the swineherd, the disloyal servants like some of the slave girls and the goatherd Melanthius. Based on all of those things, make some predictions not only about the chapter, about before the bloodshed starts. What do you predict? Is there a chance for no bloodshed? Is there begging? Is there supplicating? That thing where an ancient Greek would wrap his hands around the knees of another, kneeling towards them, showing their complete helplessness. And then what about the during part? The during the bloodshed. We know what the plan is, right? We have 108 suitors to defeat. We have a boy who's never fought. We have Odysseus, and we have, a couple of sort of slave servant type people who haven't fought. So there's really one fighter with a few other people against 108 men. So we know that those men's weapons are outside of the hall, but what do you predict for during the battle? And then lastly, to me, the most interesting parts of this chapter are after the battle itself. Okay, so I would take a second and in a bullet list, maybe in your book itself, make some predictions about the chapter and see how well you do. So lots of people die in this chapter. The chapter is called Bloodshed. It's not called Playing Checkers. It's called Bloodshed. Focus on what you think are the deaths that stand out to you. Not all the deaths are the same. According to this image, it looks like everybody's shot with arrows. A lot of people are shot with arrows, but there's some gruesome deaths that happen otherwise. I think my big question is lots of different kinds of characters die without spoiling it. And I would ask, in your view, which characters deserve the deaths the most? And were there any characters that either didn't deserve death or at least deserve some mercy? So I would jot down or at least mark up your book in those passages where characters die, and then maybe you can revisit your thoughts about the degree to which you think they deserved death. And I'd like to just put this out there. Who do you think the hero of book 22 is? I don't think it's obvious. That's why I'm asking it. And what do you think more specifically, just so you can answer the homework or reflection in more than one word, what's interesting about the nature of his or her heroism? In other words, what makes them a hero? Is it choices? Is it planning? Is it the ability to strike with violent lethal force? Is it getting a job done no matter how hard the job? What is it, right? So these are some thoughts to consider before reading book 22. It is gruesome, and as a high school English teacher of ninth graders who read this book, I'm grateful that most of my parents are much too busy to reread the Odyssey, because this is the sort of chapter, usually when there are parental concerns about a book, it's about a contemporary book. And I don't know many contemporary books that are as violent as what you're about to read in book 22. So I hope this video helps. Keep these questions in mind through your reading and enjoy it.